everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit since we put out a video, but sometimes in life you just gotta take a step back, reprioritize, and that is exactly what we did. We took some time spent with family, spent with loved ones, enjoyed the holidays, but now we're back, digging back into things, and I have new goals for 2025. My entire professional career has been about making things more efficient. Taking something that takes 10 steps and getting it done in 6 and getting the same or better results. And sometimes that just makes it hard when your whole life is about efficiencies to take the time to slow down and provide content that people want to watch. Getting the right camera angles, putting out interesting videos, editing it all together the correct way, that just takes time. But I have a goal. 2025 will be that year. Better videos, better content. Hope you join us. So with that said, let's get into this video.
We should have done this about 2 months ago, since it has been in the teens outside. Just jack the boat up as far as it'll go in the front, angle everything towards the back, so we can get up in there, fire it up real quick, and blow any water out the back. That's how we will winterize a jet boat. Looks pretty rough up here. Got leaves everywhere. It's dirty. Probably need to clean that. Front's still full of stuff. Floaties, big mat, tube. Should probably get that put up there. Works for now. I have no idea how all these leaves got in here, because the boat's been parked right here probably for 2 months. Never been outside. That little leaf blower can't handle. We do have our charger battery tender plugged in. You can see it
down in there. Keeps the battery charged up all year so it don't die on us. I'll just leave it plugged in for the next 4 or 5 months. You can see all the water that come out of it. That was still sitting in there, so now that will not freeze in there. Running down that way. So we're going to leave the boat sitting right there this year instead of moving it over to the corner. It is a whole lot of work and a lot of effort for very little reward. I'm going to wipe all this down real quick on the inside just to help clean it up a little bit, and then get the cover down from there and cover it, and it'll sit right there until we get it back out next spring. Boat cover's on. Didn't put in any poles, and I didn't even strap it because it's not moving anywhere. It's just mainly to keep the dust off of it. And I'm sure at some point I will still need to get up there to get into the loft. So it's just loosely on there right now, but it should keep all the dust off of it. We'll give it a good thorough cleaning again when we open it back up in the spring. But taking care of the boat was not the point of this video. The point of this video is to announce a pretty big change to what we're doing on the 56. Now, if you recall, a few videos ago, we unveiled that we'll be putting what we thought was an LS engine into the 56, and that probably cost me more viewers than anything I've ever done. And I've done some pretty stupid stuff. But after much deliberation and a lot of hunting and a lot of researching and a lot of parts finding, we have changed our mind. And we have chose a different engine. I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to explain to you why we did it. So what I have behind me right now is the new engine that we chose to go into our 56. You ready? Dun, 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 dun. That's right. Original motor going back in the car. And I'll explain to you why, which if you look at it from a dollar spent perspective, it makes a lot of sense. If you're looking at it from a horsepower perspective, it doesn't. But just give me a minute. I'll explain it all. It'll make some sense. Hopefully this is going to make a few people a little bit happier than they were before. And it has nothing to do with Ford should be with Fords and Chevy should be with Chevys. It's not about any of that. It came down to nostalgia and equal cost. So if you remember, this car was a one owner. We got it from the original owner with the original title. Always been in my wife's family. She struggled with putting a different engine in it, even though she supported me through the whole thing. But the more I thought about it, the more this car wasn't going to be what we originally wanted it to be. So let's just figure up some costs. We have probably $600 so far in that LS engine, which is really only a 1999 truck engine, which is an LM7. So we're already out $600. We are going to hang on to it for a different project that we haven't decided what it is yet, but we'll let you know as soon as we know what that'll be. But I started adding up costs. We still need a transmission. We still need drive shaft. We'll need a different rear end. We will need brackets. We will need time. We will need radiators. We will need Holley fuel injection. We will need torque converters. The list goes on just to get that LM7 engine to work. Oh, oil pans. New oil pans with a front sump because all of them are rear sump. So you add all those costs up together, and I made a list. You add all that stuff up together, and we're coming in right close to $4,000. And that's really not including all the time. That's not including taking away from the historic of this original car and keeping it semi-original. Now, we're not looking to restore this, but I did call an engine shop, and to take this engine in pretty much just how it sits and have it 100% gone through, heads, valves, guide seals, cranks turned, cylinders honed, new pistons, everything done, is only $3,800. And we keep the original engine in the car, which I think will make my wife a lot happier. It'll make my father-in-law a lot happier. It'll probably keep a lot of you viewers a lot happier seeing this go back in. Not to mention that we still get to keep original engine mounts, same transmission, same drive shaft, same rear end. The only thing that we are going to do to it, we're looking at a different carburetor, which I believe will either take a plate, an adapter plate, or a new intake, and I'm leaning more towards the new intake so that I can change out the distributor. Everything I've researched said this is a 12-volt system, but I'm going to have to go look here in a minute because I still have the old original battery out back. I could have swore it was a 6-volt battery, but they say 56 went to 12-volt, and the gauges were 12-volt, and then in 57 they went back to a 12-volt with a regulator to bring the gauges back down to 6-volt, something like that. So I still have a lot more research to do, but this will keep the history of the car. It's not going to be a speed demon. It's not going to be a hot rod, but we are still going to make some nice changes to it. We still cut the front springs. We're going to lower the front and the rear suspension down. We're going to put a nice exhaust on it, probably a shorter exhaust, bigger exhaust, but I still have the same exhaust manifolds I can put back on. That saves $400 or $500. All of it just makes sense from a dollar standpoint and to keep the originality of the car. So what I have to do now is I have to get this pretty much torn down to a short block, and then I can take it to the machine shop. They are extremely backed up, they said. I told them I was in no hurry. I don't even know when I'll get it in there. Probably be after the beginning of the year, after tax season, probably. But I was going to spend the money on something anyway, so I might as well just invest in the original, have it clean, have it nice. It will match all the nice things that we did in here to the front end, and the suspension, and the bushings, and the paint, and the cleaning, and everything will hook up nice. It'll make it a lot easier to wire it back up because all the wiring is still there laying inside the cab of the car. And I still have a lot of video documentation and pictures of when we took it apart. But I'll be able to, I think the water pumps froze up because it's not doing anything. But I can go through the fuel pump, all new gaskets, all new seals, everything will be nice and pretty and brand new. We just think that'll be a better way to go. So I think what I'm going to do first, I've got to get this torn down to a short block, which means all the accessories here on the front will have to come off. Intake will have to come off. Distributor will have to come out. So we'll tear into some of that, take a look at it, see what it looks like, start cataloging parts, get things put up in bags, get things set on the shelf, and then get this ready to go off to the engine shop whenever that time comes. For all those that hated on the videos before, you were right. I was wrong. My wife was right. My father-in-law was right. There's a few people that's going to say this is wrong, but that's okay. Still think this is the best decision. It's going to keep the car original. Everything is still numbers matching. It is a one-owner car. Maybe the more I thought about it, the more I just realized I couldn't do that to it. I could not cut up this car to turn it into something that it was never going to be. It's not going to be a drag car. It's not going to be a drift car. It's not going to be any of that. I'm not going to put bars in it. I'm just going to take it back and make it a nice driver, and we'll find something else to put that engine in, or find something else to tune on and play with. But with this, we can even play around a little bit with the body work, where it's rotten underneath the doors. We can get some of that, practice with our welding, just kind of tinker around with it, make it nice, make it drivable, make it something that very few people have, and just go have fun with it and keep it in the family. We're never going to get rid of it. Probably it'll be here forever, so might as well make it something that we can enjoy, and it's original, help hold its value a little bit, and go from there. So for now, we're just going to tuck this out of the way. Looks like as good a spot as any. Eee. I should probably put something under this. I'm pretty sure it's going to make a big mess. I know there's still water in it. I think I drained the oil out of it. We'll have to check that too. Okay, just threw it onto a piece of plastic. Hopefully keep some of the grime off the floor. And there's so much stuff on here to take off and I mean, there's so much filth on here. It's just thick everywhere. But we'll get it. And then the engine shop will get the rest. I have always wondered what it looks like up underneath these valve covers. So today, we're going to find out. Oh my. That's bad. Look at that. That's bad. This thing probably wouldn't have ran anyway. Everything's plugged. Yikes. More of the same on this side. And I started looking at the valves and the springs and the push rods and noticed that some of them are stuck pretty bad. You can kind of hear the ping in the spring in that one and some of these. Then you get to this one, dead. So this one's definitely dead. Even worse on the first side. That one's dead. That one works. That one works. Dead. Dead. Works. Works. Dead. So it's time. See if we can get the intake off. Well, the distributor is being problematic, so I just took off the lines that were attached to it. Gives me some more room. Now see if we can get this off. Oh yeah. That looks about as expected. You can still see spots where there's orange paint underneath there, but I wonder what it looks like in that valley. I don't know if you can put that on or off with the heads on or not. Distributor stuck. Just heating around the base. Nothing. Well, that's soaking. Guess we can go ahead and start taking some of the front off. Yep. Good old
light and shine in there, you can see there's just a bunch of crud just sitting in there. This whole engine is gummed up. See if we can get the generator off. Oh, need a wrench. I don't think any of the bolts on this are the same size. Now, take this bolt out. Yeah, there we go. I did manage to get the water pump off, which is right there. Man, look at some of this. It's, yeah. That's not good. And the water pump itself is pretty much frozen up. I can get it to turn a little bit. That's the back side of that baby. Well, I'm obviously going to have to take the heads off, which means taking the rocker arms off just to get that valley plate out. So I got all of that stuff soaking in penetrating oil, all the bolts. I got the distributor soaking again still. I'll let it sit for a couple of days. But I mentioned earlier in the video that sometimes you just got to weigh your priorities, and a better priority showed up. I'm also going to go in, I got to do a little bit more research. I'm not exactly sure how all of this comes apart. So after I get all that research, I'll update with another video once we get it all apart and take a good look at what's really in there. I'm thinking it's going to be just as bad as the rest of it's been, but see once we get in there. If you've got tips and tricks, put them in the comments. Please let me know. I'm sure somewhere from the feedback I've gotten from some of these videos, there are some Y-block experts out there and could probably have this thing broken down in a matter of minutes. But for me, probably going to take a few days. So all of you experts out there, drop some comments down there. Let me know exactly what needs to be done, exactly what needs to come apart, exactly what I should be looking for. I'm going to go catalog all the stuff I just took off of it. Hopefully I remember where all of it goes. So since other priorities showed up, I think I'm going to end the video here. Go spend a little bit of time with family, decorate some cookies. Hopefully you enjoy your holidays. Hopefully a few of you are a little bit happier with the decision we made on the engine, but I'm going to shut it off for this one. We do appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one.